Hello, on the 16th of September 2022, this 23-year-old woman by name Umu Kalsum was murdered by her boyfriend, a 47-year-old Chinese man by name Geng Guadong, by stabbing her continuously until she gave up the ghost. This all happened in Kano State of Nigeria. Guys, let's get into this crime story. We all know in this world, love comes in different sizes, shapes, and forms. But what if your opposite sex, which you are in love with, happens to be the one who will end your life? Guys, welcome to the crime story of the Beauty and the Beast. It is unclear how they met, but one thing is certain: they dated for 2 years. And they dated before Umu Kalsum ditched Mr. Geng Guadong, the 47-year-old Chinese man, to marry another Nigerian. She got married to another Nigerian roughly around January of this year. And around August of this year, they got divorced. It was said that while Umu Kalsum was married to another Nigerian man, she was still seeing Mr. Geng Guadong, the 47-year-old. And when she got divorced to that man, she and Mr. Geng Guadong continued in their relationship. Reported that Mr. Geng Guadong has done so many things for Umu's family. He has spent a lot of money on Umu by sending her to a school in Uganda and even sent her to a nursing school in Kano, and bought Umu's parents a house for them to live in. Mr. Geng Guadong spent so much money on Umu because Umu had promised him that after his divorce to the Nigerian man, she is going to marry him. What happened? And Umu went ahead and ended the relationship with Mr. Geng Guadong. And Mr. Geng Guadong was so pissed. According to the news report, Mr. Geng Guadong had bought a house, like I said, for Umu's family, for Umu's father and mother, and even sent Umu to a school in Uganda, and even sent Umu to a nursing school after that. So he has done so much for Umu's family, and for Umu to reject him, it's betrayal, because she had promised him that he's going to marry him after she gets divorced to her first husband, of which she and Mr. Geng Guadong were dating before she got married on February to her first husband in the first place. So Mr. Geng Guadong could not take this betrayal for the second time. Mr. Geng Guadong kept on calling Umu, but Umita refused to pick Mr. Geng Guadong's call. Mr. Geng Guadong came to Umu's compound, the house which he bought for Umu's father and mother. But Umuta's father and mother shut the gate on him, so he left angry and pissed. He came back the following day, calling Umu again out of the gate, but Umu Kalsum refused to respond to his call. That even got him more angrier. He left and went home and came back with a knife, killed the fence of Umu's father's compound, the compound which he bought with his own money, and entered inside their family house. While Umu's mother tried to stop him, but Mr. Geng Guadong pushed Umu's mother to the side and proceeded to stab Umu several times until she gave up the ghost. This all happened on the 16th of September 2022. Mr. Geng Guadong tried to run away, but Umu's brother held him tightly and took him to the Kano police, where Mr. Geng Guadong is being detained as from right now. Throughout the internet, the story has been Umu tried to use Mr. Geng Guadong for his money. But that's not the case, according to Umu's family. Umu's brother came out and refuted all those claims by saying that they are a well-to-do family, that Mr. Geng Guadong gave them nothing. The house they are living in is their house. And Umu was sent to school, to a nursing school. It was her father who sent her to a nursing school. But they were all too familiar with Mr. Geng Guadong. That is what they said. Mr. Geng Guadong always came to their house to visit them, and they welcomed Mr. Geng Guadong very well. And they could not believe that Mr. Geng Guadong could do something like this, killing their sister or killing their daughter. Then, what was the reason behind Umu's relationship with Mr. Geng Guadong? Remember, Umu was just 21 years old when her and Mr. Geng Guadong started their relationship. Mr. Geng Guadong at that time was 45 years old. Did you guys see that? That's an age difference of close to like 24 years old, 24 years of age difference between both of them. So what would tie a 21-year-old girl to a 45-year-old Chinese-looking man who is old? Is it not money the only reason why, that girl had that relationship with that man? Because you cannot tell me a 23-year-old Muslim girl will fall in love with a 47-year-old Chinese man, based on the fact that the Muslim religion is a very conservative religion. It's a religion which stands for, for Muslim marrying Muslims. Or Muslim dating Muslims. For a Muslim girl to go out of her religious culture and start dating a 47-year-old Chinese man, her herself being 23 years old. That tells you everything, that this relationship was a relationship based on money. She saw the Chinese man as her cash cow to exploit a lot of money from the man, then promised the man he is going to marry, the man, but refused to marry the man later. And this got the man pissed off because the man has been betrayed, 2 times. The first time was, when the man, Umu Kalsum abandoned the man and went and got married to another Nigerian man who is Muslim too. But they got divorced, roughly around August. Remember, Umu Kalsum met this Chinese man first, and they were dating, and this man has been spending a lot of money for Umu and Umu's family. Then Umu betrayed this man firstly and went and married another Nigerian. Then divorced around January or around February of this month. Then divorced the Nigerian man around August of this month. Then later on, got back to a relationship with Mr. Ngeng Guadong, 47 years old. And it was said that while she was married to this Nigerian man, she and Mr. Ngeng Guadong were still in a relationship. And after she divorced the Nigerian man, she and Mr. Ngeng Guadong continued. So I think that this is a matter of the heart. You don't play with things of the heart. You don't play with someone's heart. If you don't love someone, tell them you don't love the person. But don't tell them that you love them, you are going to marry them. Then they keep on spending all this money upon you, and you're using them for, you're using them for their money. Then you end up at one point in time, you tell them, no, you're not going to marry them. What do you expect of that man? And you've betrayed that man, for the second time by telling him you're not going to marry him. So that is so hard. That is so hard to think of. It's so painful. But Mr. Ngeng Guadong, the 47-year-old Chinese man, had no right to murder Umu Kalsum. That is not the way to settle issue. If he wanted compensation for all what he has spent on Umu, he would have taken it to the courts for justice to be done. But he went ahead and took justice to his own hands and murdered this young girl. So it is shocking, it is distasteful, but I know where Mr. Ngeng Guadong is coming from, and I also know where Umu's family are coming from. So guys, that is how we saw it on this crime story. I love you all, but no, Jesus Christ loves you more. Thank you.